What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic, Neil. I can't wait to talk to our next guest again.
Oh my gosh. We have Chris Mulkey. Chris has been on multiple times, but I call him a friend at least because I can text him whenever I
Yes,
want. So Chris and we've never met in person yet, but I believe 2026 we're finally going to meet. But because
good.
of the new shows coming out, we want to talk about your latest projects and your music. So Chris, go ahead, Greg, with your first question.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So, in that episode in Plain Sight, when you were Carl Hoagland, um,
Sure.
how did you approach playing that character and what drew you to take that part?
Um, I really liked. I was working with Clark, and he's truly a great actor, and the rest of the cast were great too. Um, I liked the dynamic of deception that this my character built a bridge that was built to fail, and his his partner trusted him, and I always like when you know people build, so many people construct their lives, and they build them to fail. It's amazing. They'll set everything in motion, or just when everything is set, just when things are perfect, someone will come along and try to like submarine you, right? And it's amazing. So that was the inspiration of that for that role for me, anyhow.
And it's really cool to be part of that show for that episode, right?
It was great, and we built the set. We built, Neil. It was crazy outside of Albuquerque, and it was just absolutely amazing. So, viewers, if you get a chance, go on whatever platform you want to and watch that thing. And I have to tell you that I do continue to get residuals because that particular episode of that particular series keeps playing and playing and playing because it was so well written. And I have to admit, I can't remember the director's name, but he was very good. Very
Really,
cool.
and what talk about, specifically, and then we'll go to Greg's question. And basically, where is that playing all the time where we can check that out?
Probably Hulu, probably Hulu or Netflix. Oh no, Amazon. You just go on Amazon. It has everything. I mean, you could do Neil. You could do the weekend with Chris Mulkey.
I know. Yeah, I've looked up some of them. Some of them are bizarre, Chris.
Yeah,
Some
they
of them are
are.
bizarre. They
Well,
are. I forget what movie we saw you in. Oh, I know what it was about this dead woman, and it was going back and forth. And you were the father, and you were driving her. I forget what movie that was.
wow.
I get.
I love to work, and this last year, this time last year, I did a movie up in the by Edwards Air Force Base in the desert. This old man who lived in this thing, and then I went to North Carolina, and I did. My wife played the lead in a scary movie called My Sister's Keeper, and then I went to the Bronx and did a narcotics movie, and then went. I don't know. I did another movie somewhere. Can't remember. Oh, I did a movie in Boston, and then I ended up later doing I'm on Y Marshalls on CBS, so the news which comes on it premieres on CBS March 1st, and we did the first season in Park City, and we're going back to work May 1st, so it's great. I'm a bad guy. I'm a very bad, I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad
Oh,
guy.
I remember I'm going to go back in my question, but Greg, go ahead with your next question. But I will tell you the one you appeared in that was a really good horror movie. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, okay.
Okay.
But
Okay.
anyhow, my conclusion. I love to work. I love to do stuff. And you and I, we're not going to give up. We're going to do our project. But go, Greg. What do you got?
Yeah, sure. In the paper, what was it like stepping into a character in that newsroom crazy
Woo.
environment?
Well, first of all, you you're stepping into a series where it's loaded with top to bottom with brilliant comedians, just brilliant comedians. And the woman who played my wife, Nancy Lenahan, is a genius, and I know her from the way back. And so they just called me up and said, "Come, why don't you come do this thing?" But it was such a pleasure being on the set, and everybody's so funny and so genuine and so gracious. It's but man, they're smart. I think they're smarter than I am.
You know, when I talk about the paper, I did not like the show, Chris. Then I got to learn to love it. I think that the pilot wasn't great, and this is my opinion, but it got
Mm.
so much better. And at the end, you're like, once your character was involved, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to see season 2.
Yeah, there. That's true of a lot of series. It's hard to do a really good pilot. If you remember The Sopranos, I had a lot of friends on The Sopranos, and I watched the pilot, and I went, I don't get this. And then, like you said, a couple shows in, you go, oh my God, this is brilliant. So yeah, the paper was fun. It was good to be. I'm generally a dramatic actor, but I can be funny. I'm warning. I can be funny. So yeah,
and play the guitar.
I play the guitar. Yeah, I'm doing a new record. I'm doing a record with Britton Buchanan from The Voice. He and I he was he was a runner up last year, and he's on the new Voice that's coming out. And he and I have a 10-song record that we're doing in Sanford, North Carolina. So Britton Buchanan, look him up. He's a great singer songwriter, Americana. A great player, and we played together live, of course, and a great writer too. Yeah.
Well, see, Greg, this is the thing. We make this a family affair. We're gonna and different projects affair. We'll have Chris on with him if he's ever available. So we'll kind of try to get that set up. Now, now, Chris, here's the horror movie I watched. You did a brilliant job in. Mother was really good. Oh my goodness.
It was called Mother. Mother, May I?
Mother, May I? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that was directed by Lawrence. He's out of London. The director's from London, and he was my across the street neighbor. Actually, Chris Long, who was the showrunner for The Mentalist, lives across the street from me in Gloria Swanson's old summer house. The old scary actress from the silent era. And so anyhow, so Chris came over and said, "Do you want to do this movie with my son-in-law, Lawrence, written by his daughter Daisy?" And I said, "Absolutely." I read it and I said, "Absolutely." And we shot it out in Woodstock, New York. Yeah, yeah, it's cool.
Well, Chris, anybody who's been out to the IMDb, they have to realize that you probably have your own dedicated server because of the volume of work you've had over your years, right? I mean, we already talked about First Blood, Captain Phillips, Whiplash, Feeling Randy, The Long. I mean, just goes on and on and on. What kind of roles are you most excited about taking on now, and how come?
Well, I'm excited about doing the barroom prophet in my daughter's new movie that I'm producing called Floating. I'm going to do that. I'm really excited about that. And then after, but before I do that, but wait a minute, there's more. I'm my wife Dana Sparks, who was was on Passions and was regular on Jag and Knox Landing and stuff. Anyhow, Dana Sparks and I are doing a movie in Texas called The Texas Dead. And we start shooting the 6th of March, so it's coming up. So we're going to do that. Yeah, but I'm excited about doing that. And I play this. It's The Prodigal Son. It's the story about this rancher who was a musician and he quit that to go back and run his ranch and run his business. And one of his sons stayed with him and worked with him, but was stifled and is just an insufferable, like, can I say prick?
And you can say whatever. Go ahead.
Okay. And then his other son went to Austin, Texas, and saw his dream, and so they all get together for Thanksgiving dinner. And his one son's two girlfriends show up. It gets messy, Neil. It gets messy. We need a bouncer. We need come on.
Oh, come on! I'll be out in Texas with you. Tell me, I'm there. I have to get away from this cold.
Oh my God!
Come on now. Where in Texas are you filming?
Well, it's not that warm. We're filming Abilene, so
But March, but it'd still be better. I mean, come on now. So Abilene's near. How far is that from Dallas?
Let me see. It's 2.5 hours.
2.5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No,
Yeah.
I'll be in Abilene. You tell me I'm there. Okay.
Well, let's talk.
We'll talk about it. All right. So
No,
U.S.
man.
Marshals coming up on CBS. That appearance. Talk about that.
Okay, it's called Y Marshals,
Why
as
Marshall?
in
Okay.
Yellowstone Marshals, and Luke Grimes um, plays Casey, and he's back on his old ranch after Kevin Costner and the whole gang split, and it's just and he's become a U.S. Marshal, and it's really riveting and smart. And so I I joined the cast. Let me see, we did 10. I joined the cast in episode 4, and then wrote it out to the end, and then the end of this at the end of the 10 episodes, it was clear that I was going to have to come back because there was some unfinished business. And so,
Oh, so that see,
so
but Chris, I mean, Greg, are you impressed? This guy's 73 years old
Oh,
and literally is doing all this work.
I think we
yeah.
got to flip that. 37, I think.
Yeah, 30, yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
What's in the water,
well,
Chris?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Man, when I was 37, man, 37. What was I doing? I was playing LA City League ball and running marathons and raising 2 kids with my wife, Karen Landry. Yeah, it's been I'm just, yeah, it's hectic. Stay in shape, stay off the sauce. Let the whiskey train go without me. That's it. Used to like that whiskey train, but not anymore. The tequila train too. I liked any train. I was a handful, but yeah, no, I just keep busy. It's great, and I'm mixing. I just wrote a great song, by the way, with a great songwriter, Steve McClintock, who wrote for Whitney Houston, and it's called Two Lane Road, and it's a love song, but it's just rocking. I'll send you. I'm going to the studio Thursday, and I'm going to revoice it. And so, because I'm going to sing the revoice in the studio, we did a demo that wasn't studio groovy, so I'll send you a copy of it. But yeah, so I'm just rocking, man. It's good. I'm thankful.
Oh, that's amazing. So, quick question before I give you my last question. After Neil gives you another question,
Yeah,
I'm ready.
So your career so varied. I mean, we talked about that, right? Huge. I mean, theater, TV. You were talking sports and marathons. I mean, all this passed in your life. You're so passionate about acting still. What's one piece of advice that you would share with actors who are just starting out and coming out?
Oh, yeah, it's one phrase that kind of it goes along. Let me see. Show up on time, be nice, and know your shit. Just that's it. That's it. And also, and just be a bulldog. I'm like, I mean, I'm not pushy or anything, but I'm inquisitive, so I'll ask. I think you guys have got me all hot and bothered. I'm gonna call my manager right now and ask about a couple things. But that's it. And know your stuff. Read. Pay attention and watch other people. Watch other people's stuff. When I teach acting at the Ruskin Theater in Santa Monica. I do a master class where I redirect the scenes. They bring in, the format is you get 2 guys, you and Neil. I give you a scene from Streetcar Named Desire, and so for 6 weeks, you guys each Saturday come in and you perform that scene for a so-called master. And so I do one of the every 6-week cycle. I do one class, and redirect the scenes. And so why am I saying this? So I like doing that because I like watching what people do, how they construct things, and in teaching that class, it makes me think about what I'm doing. And what I say to my people is, you got to find your guy. You both have found your guy. Neil, you found your guy. In both in this format and in the wrestling format, you found your guy. And Greg, you found your guy being this guy. So a lot of people wander around in their lives and they don't find their guy because they don't listen to themselves. They don't sit quiet and figure out who I am. They just kind of like kind of emulate other people and bounce off other people, because
Yeah.
they're, I don't know why.
All
Yeah.
right, so
Anyhow.
I'm just
So-
going to throw it back to Greg with his question. I
Yeah.
wonder
Well,
if we'll
before
have to
we
go
do
back.
that,
Yeah.
I got to hear your Stella. Come on, let's hear it, Neil. Come on.
Oh, you're Stella. No, yeah, Stanley. It'd be Stanley and Mitch. It'd be the scene
Stella!
would be Stella.
Stella. You understand me? Your sister's driving me crazy. Stella, you understand?
It's a great. That's pretty good. I cast you guys.
No, I've done other impersonations, as Greg knows. But Greg, go to your final question. We
Yeah.
can have all day long with Chris, but Greg's got to balance. We got to talk business with Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
So, Chris, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to catch
Absolutely.
up and chat with you. So you told me about acting, how to help people, but let's talk about life in general. What do you feel is the most important thing in life so far that you've ever learned?
Just listen. Just listen. I was doing a movie. I got cast in a movie. I arrived in Montreal. I'd grown this great goatee. I had this guy, my character. I knew I hadn't met the director at all, but I'd say the script. I had my whole guy down, right? And I'm going, yeah, I'm just passionate about this guy. He was a bad guy. And so, so I go in there and have the first meeting, and Max goes, Chris he's an Egyptian director. He's like, he worked with Godard in Paris and stuff like that. Just a huge chops, right? Bald head, looked great. And I go, and he goes, Chris, none of this works. See what you have here? No, and what you're thinking, no. And I got really steamed. I didn't show it, but in my, how you sit there and you just like, you just gone, this guy. And then I looked at him. I'm not kidding you guys. I looked at him, and across his head, it's kind of blue iridescent letters, it said, "Listen."
Wow.
I'm not kidding. And that was 30 years ago.
Wow.
That was
Awesome.
probably 50 movies ago. But yeah, listen. I think listen and be kind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be kind. Think about
Kind.
what the other guy, think about, even though if somebody takes a shot at you, move to the right and then, avoid right and pop one. But, if nobody's taking a shot at you, listen and figure out like why those people are so crazy. Now,
Exactly.
and I can't tell you why ICE is so crazy, but I can tell you that in everyday life, and kindness, gotta figure it out, and yeah, that's
Exactly.
because Krabby's not attractive.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
Well, we really appreciate it, Chris. Thanks again. And appreciate it,
Oh, yeah.
Greg. And that was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and celebrity interviews live from the grotto with Greg Hanna. Guys, take care.
Come
Awesome.
on now.